race talk. When you raised like a savage, that's how you talk. If you feel me, then you feel me. This is real talk bars. They told me I would never see the light. I was born by the light. Get it right. I walk the gutter at night like I'm the street light. I brought the word where it's dark at. And so don't put your hands up if you feel that. They hate the prophet, and I don't understand that. How you speak death over me and love God. Hypocrites in the sanctuary, oh my God. You be the hardest ones to understand. I'm still praying for you, I know you don't understand. It's something about his glory, Lord have mercy. I'm thirsty for that holy water, they say I ain't worthy. No matter what I do, they always trying to hurt me. I be on my Jackie Joyner cursing, Lord have mercy.
Hey everybody, it's Jessica Simpson.
This is Beyonce. This is Justin Timberlake.
Hey, this is Avril Lavigne. This is Gwen from No Doubt.
Hi, this is Usher, and you're listening to
GSNJ Radio.
It's your boy Pastor P, man. I'm so stuck with Prevail the MC, y'all. I don't think that I want Prevail to die yet.
Don't let him die. Don't let him die.
I really want to
A
keep
piece of him
Prevail
has to
alive,
stay.
man. Keep Prevail alive. I was about to say, yo, it's Prevail the MC. I'm in rare mode. I'm ready to get on the track. Yeah, I was hyped real quick, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was about to be interviewed just now. Yo, it's Prevail the MC. Nah, it's Pastor P, man.
It's your boy Mike J.
And it's Lily Dane.
You know what I mean? You're not tuned into
Don't
the
let him.
voice of
Don't let
reason.
him die, because you need him.
I need
you
him
every once in a while.
I need him sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he just keeps, but he's so arrogant. Like, he's so arrogant. You know what I'm saying? He comes out, he's just like,
He's like, he be angry at breakfast sometimes over Fruity Pebbles.
he said, y'all gang banging that bacon? You gang banging for bacon? Nah, man, but for real. Oh man, I think we needed that laugh.
We did. We definitely did.
Real tension, right? And real stress. So it was just like,
Yeah,
Right.
we definitely
Good.
needed
I
that
needed
laugh.
that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's talk though. How was everybody's weekend? Let's give a shout out to Victory in Christ, right?
Yeah.
Because they did bring something. The Tabernacle experience is really dope.
Yes.
For those that want to go out there and witness it, you go out there. At first, you don't know how to kind of take it. Because
Right.
when I was out there, I was like, what is this? You know, it kind of felt weird.
Right.
You know, you got a big thing burning right there with the fire and everything. And you're looking around, you're like, what is all of this crazy stuff going on? You know what I mean? About to sacrifice the lamb. About to sacrifice the lamb right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got you dipping the little joint in there. They're like, dip it in there, dip it in there, dip it in the salt. Then come and walk up there and then drop it in the fire.
Right.
But, so like the
What?
next thing was gonna happen. Please pass the night.
Right.
Like that type of
She said,
I want the night. Had the big thing burning.
hold up, Dane. Was that from heaven? That's messed up. Y'all got me back in red form again. Where y'all hear that voice from?
Right.
But nah, the Tabernacle experience was definitely dope. And I don't want to tell y'all too much about it, but just go experience it for yourself. You know what I mean?
We'll be there from April 13th to the 21st.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely hot.
Most definitely.
What's going on, Dane? You look stressed out.
I look about crazy, but I did have, for the most part, I had a great week. What's today? I don't even know what. Last week was my little nephew's birthday. We call him #LastBaby, #LB. I'm still excited. He turned 2.
Hold up, why #LastBaby?
Why last week?
Oh, because my sister done. She's like, no more.
It?
So, and shout out to my sister. When I tell you guys, when I say that she is my true ride or die, like, I can't even explain. It's just, Lord, I just thank you for bringing her into my life. Like, when I say she, okay, let me stop before I cry. But anyway, #LastBaby just turned 2. Yeah, no crying. Jeez, don't cry. Jeez, don't cry. Such a crybaby. I am built for tough. I am built for tough.
Built like a Subaru.
Wait, speaking of Subaru, we was on the highway coming home in the tow truck, right? So this guy had a Subaru, and his license plate said, I be fly. I was like, oh, you flying your Subaru? But what else happened this week? It's work and school. I can't wait till school's over, guys. I only got a couple more months. November. I can make it.
Definitely.
There was something I wanted to say. Mike, you go ahead, because I can't remember what I wanted to say that happened this week.
Well, we had a great day yesterday. We took the kids out. We went to the Funplex. It was really
Okay, I
dope.
remember now.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was definitely a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you know what? That was a good thing, man. Family is most important.
Yeah, definitely.
What was that you were gonna say?
Okay, so yesterday, shout out to my girl Jada. Happy birthday, boo. Today's her birthday. She's 30. Well, let me not tell your age, but she's 32. But happy birthday, Jada. Yesterday, we went to Canvas Grapes. Ladies, even gentlemen, paint and sip. This is not your average paint and sip. When I say it was such an amazing time, the host, it was karaoke that was intertwined in it. They make you feel so comfortable. You can dance while you're painting. Just a great experience. It was 4 hours, but the 4 hours went by so fast. So
Man, that sounds long.
it really. I mean,
4 hours?
you don't realize you were in there for 4 hours till you come out. Look, wait. But
That's sipping.
but you know what? You
So
can bring
sip
your.
sip for 2 hours and you paint for an hour.
But yeah, and you get to
Karaoke
eat.
forever.
We had pizza. We ordered
though.
pizza, and it was the painting part. You don't realize how relaxed you are till after. Like we all took a nap after. I was ready for a nap because the relaxation of painting.
4 hours.
Right.
it was 4 hours.
That is true. That is very
Stay somewhere for 4 hours. You spend half a day at work. 4 hours.
That is true because I was on the ride home. I was like, let me be the good passenger because I was sitting in the front. I was like, let me be the good passenger and stay awake.
She sit for 2 hours, so that's why. and it whined. So she was done. I need a nap.
Wait, and I did
tired.
karaoke, right? So I did karaoke, and I chose Cardi B Moneybag.
Really?
You don't realize how bad lyrics are sometimes till you're reading it on the screen. I was rapping, and I was like, ooh, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
That's how they do it stuff.
Right.
But
You could have swore they were saying nigga or something like that, or something that JR was just listening to.
Right.
JR was at the house listening to something. I could have swore it was saying, you little dumb nigga, you little dumb nigga. And I was like, yo, is that saying you little dumb nigga? And you know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. And you grab it because you like, are they really programming
Yeah.
it a little bit in their head?
Yeah.
Because it sound like it. And anything
did.
that sound familiar to it, it's like, that's, you know
It
what I mean?
was like it sounded like it said 5 niggas. I'm like, who 5 niggas?
Yo, I swear, it was saying little dumb nigga, fine nigga. It was saying something with nigga. And I was like, yo, they programming us. And not
Yes,
fair.
they
Early
programming.
in the game.
Because when I was standing up there, and it was the little couple older ladies in there, and I started to feel bad. Like, wait a minute, and I stopped the song. I was like, thank you, everybody. That's my time.
Thank you for coming out. God bless.
Catch me at 8 o'clock. Catch my 8 o'clock show. I was like, all right, I'm done.
That's crazy, yo. Oh, my God. Yo, I got to say it. I know that everybody, but R.I.P. to the boy Nipsey Hussle, man. I had to put that out there real quick. Salute the bull. But what I hate is the fact that they're trying to make him look so bad in the news with a lot of situations. And it comes down to that thing at the repass where they try to say that somebody got shot
Oh, I didn't
right
hear
after
that.
the repass when it happened 4 hours later.
Oh, wow.
And it was on the other side
Of town.
You know what I mean? But, gunfire broke out at the Nipsey Hussle repass type situation. Right. Like, can you just let the brother live?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it really bothered me to see a lot of the stuff that they keep doing. Like, every time they bring him up, ex-drug dealer, ex-criminal. But,
Yeah.
yo, man, your past,
It doesn't define him. Yeah, it
you
did
know,
not
but you
define
need
him.
your past to make you who you are in your present
Exactly.
anyway. But I just wanted to say, like, man, just going over and watching all his videos and watching everything that the boy was doing, I don't think that people really understand how intelligent that boy was.
They didn't.
Especially when it came to that cryptocurrency. People like, what is cryptocurrency? Y'all need to do y'all research because the boy was bad. And I know a lot of that stuff. Follow coin. People don't know about the follow coin. They don't know about when he went into Amsterdam a while ago and go ahead and sign that paperwork to get that money. They didn't see what he was doing, how he was worth $8 million without being signed to anybody.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How he had the dispensary called the Marathon OG.
Yes, I
weed
saw-
about
I
to
did
come
see a
out.
clip of
like,
that.
people didn't see what Nipsey was doing. So that was power in itself. And when you got that much power as an indie running the game like that, I'm not trying to say it like this, but you got a target on your back.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to watch yourself. And that's what I be trying to say about how grimy this industry is. They're not trying to let you get to the next level regardless. And let me watch my mouth, but I don't know if it's true or not, but they said that he signed with Jay, with Rock Nation. Now, to me, that's kind of crazy if he did. I want to do my research on it, but I just seen him behind all that Rock Nation stuff and, you know, him shaking hands with Jay and all of that. And then to me, it's like ironic. Like, you just signed with Rock Nation and then, you know what I mean, your last song was Hustle Sacrifice. Nipsey paid the price, and I'm like, that sacrifice type situation. Like, are you getting ready to be the sacrifice?
Yeah.
Like, it kind of scared me, but I'm hoping that it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we gonna leave it alone. But I'm just
Right.
like, wow, that dude was only 33 years old. Shout out to Nipsey.
Yeah,
and shout out
definitely.
to everybody that bought his store out.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
from T.I. to the game.
Mano.
To yeah, exactly.
Right.
I saw
I
that
seen
too.
they bought the whole store out. You know what I mean? To make sure his kids is good. To make sure everybody is straight. And that's a real one, yo. All of them, everybody that did that, that's some real. Like so. They said that,
They
but
said
everybody
that,
said
I
that's a
saw-
lie.
Yeah, I saw a report that said.
Yeah.
I saw.
They said it was
I
fake
saw a
news.
report that Jay-Z actually confirmed that that was
Jay
not
said
true.
it wasn't.
That it wasn't true.
Yeah. And so that's what got me too.
But
You know what I'm
and
saying?
yeah, and even if it's not true, I'm like, so you don't want to do nothing?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you didn't want to do anything at that point. You know, I had a conversation with my sister's husband and a couple of his friends. We were talking at the baby's party. Actually, we were talking about Nipsey and other artists and celebrities and things. And one of the things that we realized is when it comes to these other artists, they play it safe because everybody always
Right,
wants to say,
right.
everybody always wants to say, oh, well, Jay does this and other people do that and everything. When you think about it, like, yes, everybody, I'm not taking away from what anybody plays a part in and what they contribute and what they do. But when you think about it, how safe are they playing it?
Real
you know
safe.
what I mean?
Because you don't see a lot of them in the public. Like,
No.
they said that Nipsey was able to be with the Crips, with the Bloods, with whatever, the essays, and then he could have his gold chains around his neck and his watch on. So that's what puzzled me is this dude was bringing all these gangs together and he could be around all of these people and yet one person banged him like that.
One person. And there was nobody around
There was
him
nobody
that
around there
was-
like that. Like, that's so
Yeah.
suspect to me.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy because it's like, wow, he had all of that going on out
Yeah.
there. Like, with the schools and everything he was doing and all the inmates that he was hiring
Yes.
and everything like that. This dude actually was making the community so great.
Yes.
So I was just really like, I was sick to my stomach for like 2 days. And I don't even really know Nipsey like that, but it just weighed on me. Like,
This was definitely
damn.
a hard one because I did not know
Wait on
him
me.
as well. You know, and it's sad to say that it took for this to happen because I knew him because I knew that him and Lauren London have been together for a minute.
Right.
So that's how I started to know him. But just seeing everything, reading everything, seeing his interviews, I'm like, this one hurt. Like this was a real sad one, and it's just
But see, but Nipsey been grinding for a long time. People don't really even pay attention to
At all.
his first movie, way back.
Really?
Yeah, he was in a like it was a little bootleg joint where he was like paralyzed from a car accident and he was on the crutches moving around. He was all disrespectful to the joint. But he made his way through films, music, his shop, all of that stuff. He's been grinding for a long time. So people just don't realize it's like 15 years in the making,
Yeah.
16 years that he been
Yeah.
grinding that nobody saw what he was doing. And the bad part about that is the moment that they finally see who you are, it seemed like you got folded. But when he was behind the scenes, before the Grammys, before all of that, if he would have just kept living, but that's what you're saying, if he would have played it safe.
yes, if he would have played
That's
it
the playing
safe.
it safe, and that's a shame. Now I play it safe. I just stay in my own house.
Yep.
I stay in my own lane.
Yep.
I keep people away from me. Then I can live longer. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Ashley.
Period.
Yeah, and to going back to the Jay-Z thing, like, people, and I want people to understand there is nothing wrong with doing however you can give back and however you can contribute.
Right.
But I saw something where they were listing what Jay has done, and it was like, he paid this for 21 Savage, he did this for this other person, did this for this other person. When I looked at the list, I was like, they're all celebrities.
Right.
They just happened to be in a situation where they couldn't use their own money. You know what I mean? So people, please understand, nobody's taking away from anything, but understand that Nipsey, and there are others like him that are actually in the community doing things. Like, we gotta get into our community and do things. And I pray for Los Angeles and that side of the community. They lost one of their biggest supporters and one of their biggest advocates. So I definitely pray that those in that community and those around can still keep that going because they need that. They definitely need that.
And not to sound on no racist tip, but here go everybody talking about what, Trump ain't gonna say nothing? Y'all expect Trump
Why?
to say something?
Yeah,
Like, he
why?
hasn't said anything
At all.
up until this point.
No.
So what do y'all care about what
Yeah.
he's saying for
Leave that
anyway?
alone.
Like,
Leave that all the way alone.
Like, that's, shut up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Do
why
we
you
want
care?
him to say anything?
Yeah, like,
I
heard
don't.
A lot of like black people like, why Trump ain't saying nothing? You see Trump ain't saying nothing. Like, why do you care anyway?
Yeah.
What Trump is saying?
At all.
But what I will say about that, is that while stuff like this is happening with Nipsey, we better watch what's going on behind the
Yes.
scenes
Right.
in
Yes.
the government.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Streets, politics, spirituality.
Distractions.
Politics is nasty.
Message.
It's dirty. Yeah, it's
Bloody.
dirty. Like, what's going
Bloody.
on behind that?
Yes.
Like, y'all got Farrakhan and all them out here marching at the rally. Y'all got Obama writing in
Writing
something.
letters.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all got all of this happening. Meanwhile, what's happening behind this situation?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Completely.
And then y'all pressing this whole thing with martial law anyway.
Exactly.
So y'all wanted to see us fight at that funeral. Y'all wanted to see the Crips and Bloods not unite any daggone way.
Right.
And so I'm just watching like, oh, y'all sneaky bastards.
Mm-hmm.
It's really rotten right now.
It
And I'm
is.
just watching. But, you know, that's-
Distractions.
let me
Watch
leave it
these
alone.
distractions,
Watch the
people.
distractions.
Watch them.
Stay
Watch
woke.
them. Because we also don't know if his sacrifice and his life was supposed to be a distraction. You know what I mean? The sacrifice of his life could be another distraction. So we have to just be careful.
Well, it kind of is a distraction because all you saw was Nipsey Hussle.
All 2
Yeah.
weeks long, it
All
seemed
2
like.
weeks.
And it's
Yeah.
still
All
heavy.
weeks out.
It's still heavy.
Right.
But what's going on behind it?
Yeah.
That's the big story.
But you know what? I always knew about Dr. Sebi, right? But I'm going to tell you the truth. I knew about him, but I wasn't really paying close attention until Nipsey said that he was about to do the documentary
Yes.
for it. That's when I was like, something got to be deeper than what I've known about him. So it made me go do my research and come to find out what he had 18 patients that he set free from AIDS.
Yep.
Right.
Like
Yep.
and like Nipsey said, that's something that people should know about. Like, you know what I mean? We should know about this type of
Right.
situation. And they tried to say that he was guilty and he went to court and fought it and beat it. Like, wow, when do you know a black man that don't need a lawyer that could go in the courtroom and
Exactly.
fight something and
Right.
beat it and,
And
walk
beat it.
away from that situation?
Yeah.
So it was like, golly.
So let's protect Nick Cannon. Let's try to protect him because he said he's gonna pick it up and keep it and finish it.
Dane, what you think about that?
But see,
With-
I don't.
with Nick Cannon.
I don't think they fear Nick Cannon. They,
You know what? I'm not doing this.
That's why I asked
no.
you.
I ain't
That's why
doing this
asked
with you guys.
What
I'm
you think
not.
about Nick? 'Cause
I'm
with
not.
the little terminal,
You know what? I'm
You
not.
what
I'm
I
not
mean?
doing this with
What
you
you think?
guys.
I'm just
I'm
No,
saying.
not.
no, but Nick
They don't-
Nick is a
He-
strong dude.
he is.
He
He is
is.
strong.
No,
but-
Nick is a strong dude, but Mike has a point.
Yeah.
They don't fear him
Yeah.
like they was fearing Nipsey.
Because
Because like you said, Nipsey did it boldly.
Yes. Yes.
Nick still walk a little bit on eggshells to
Right.
play with the corporate game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can't get too far in that corporate world
Right.
without playing with their structure.
Right.
Nipsey Hussle was an independent street dude
Right.
that was basically doing his own thing.
Right.
So are they fearing Nick Cannon with that film?
Nah. If anything, they probably.
She don't want to speak on this.
No.
shit.
I'm just look. I do. No, you finish saying
No,
what
but
you're
if
saying.
anything, they probably fear Dr. Umar. If anything,
Yeah.
but Nick Cannon, no.
I think when it comes to Dr. Umar, I think they would fear him. I just think
They
a
do
lot
fear
of
him.
people.
They
Some,
just- they
I
just
just
don't know what to do with
I
him.
still think a lot of people don't know how to take him though, because I've heard mixed reviews on how people feel about him, and I don't know if it's they feel he's just aggressive or in how he speaks or how he comes off. I don't know, but when it comes to Nick. Yeah, I guess it's almost like his music. Like, who's really gonna take him so seriously?
Yo,
I'm
Nick
sorry,
was-
but he's definitely.
But you know what? Nick put himself in that position with the Wild Out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
by that show and the way that he acts on that show, it's hard to take him
They don't take
seriously
him serious.
Yeah.
because he
Right.
clowns around a lot with that
Right.
show. But he does have some power moves and enough money to do it. Let's not get it
does. He
twisted.
definitely does. He has-
Now, is he gonna follow through with it?
I'm hoping
That's-
so. I'm hoping so.
Hope so.
I've been watching it,
I've seen
John.
his podcast
His
and it's pretty
class.
decent. Yes.
His class was nasty. Did you see the one he just did with? I think you sent it to
I
me.
sent it to you.
With KRS
With
One.
Kerry Weston. That
No,
joint
I
was
didn't
dope.
see that
Oh
one.
my
But
I was at work.
God.
Some of
That-
his.
it was an hour and a half
Oh my
long. I was listening
God.
to it while I was at work. I was like, yo, this is on deep.
It was deep. KRS-One is a deep dude, man.
Right.
KRS, and you know what? KRS-One was putting out books that I was upset, like, and I'm not trying to be like that, but I was like, dang, I didn't even know those 5 books that Martin Luther King wrote.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I was
Right.
like, what am I
Yeah,
missing?
right.
Like, I started I grabbed my pen and started
let me
taking
look
notes. Like,
that
what
up
this
for a
book?
second.
Like, I actually got it in my notebook. Right? I took notes. I was
Right.
like, hold up, they talking about this and that.
Right.
And then I liked how he was like, you know what? God is my gun.
Right.
I was like, God is your gun. He's like, yeah, gun. He said, you know, gun. Then he was like, God, universe, nature.
Right.
I was like, dang. He was like, they
pretty
scared of my knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
And he started talking. KRS-One is so
Yo.
deep. But I don't know. He got tons of books out
And
that I
he-
ain't buy. I'm like, I'm behind the gun.
And he speaks in code. Like He's speaking
It was
so much
many
code.
things. He was like, y'all need to stop.
Right.
Yeah, he was like, y'all need to stop focusing on Garvey and this, that, and the third, and learn all the other black. And he started saying all these other names in different books, and I was like, I feel kind of stupid.
Yeah,
about
Right.
See,
That's
all
how I
this-
felt when I was
there's
listening to it.
so much knowledge to know, though. Like, just, you know, being on this show alone and making sure that I'm prepared every week and things like that, I will honestly say there's so much knowledge out here for us to know that we don't know. And I just want to spend time reading. Like, I want to get off social media. I need to get unplugged.
Woo! I just said
And-
that. I'm off social media a lot lately, to the point where if I post something on the Prevail page, I'll be like, yo, I don't know when the last time I was even on this.
Yeah,
show.
when I saw that the other day, I was like, what happened? I was like, oh, he must have just remembered the password. He must have finally remembered his password for this page.
That's messed
Because
up.
when I saw that post, I was like, I had to check it again and be like, wait, maybe
That's
he
messed up.
forgot
That's
which
messed
page
up.
he was posting this on.
You're right, because I've been trying to stay off as much as possible, and that page got a lot of nonsense on it.
Right.
The Glenn Morton page don't, so I'll be trying to stay on that one a lot more. I'm even fasting from that one. Like I've been watching that lately. Like y'all acting stupid in the church for real.
Let me get it,
I'm gonna put that right there, leave that right where it's
got a lot
at.
of pastors on there. I'll be like, for real.
right. I don't even want to see it.
For real. I done seen some nonsense this week. Let me tell you, that one pastor, I wanted to define him and punch him in the dirt. This is what he was doing.
Dirt.
Punch him in the dirt. Right in his throat. Ugh.
Oh, the throat. I
Yeah.
thought you said punch him in the dirt.
jugular.
No, punch him right in the dirt.
The
Right in the dirt. In the dirt. Medea, in the dirt.
In the truth.
But no, he was doing some stuff in church and was like, she got a demon in her mouth. She like to suck on da-da-da. Put it out of her mouth. Get it out of her mouth. Get it out of her mouth. Da-da-da-da. Get it out of her mouth. You got a demon in your mouth. You got cum in your mouth.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, sir.
Whoa. Then he was going down her area. She got a demon in there. She got a
Whoa,
demon
sir.
in there. Da-da-da. Get that demon out. Get that out. Pull it out. Pull it out. I dropped the phone.
Whoa, okay. All right. All right. All right.
I was like, oh, hell no. The way he was acting was crazy. Like, pull the cum out your mouth.
Yeah, you know.
what?
I've seen.
Some of these pastors, y'all make it ridiculous. That's why people don't like y'all. That's
Yeah.
why they don't want to come to
Yeah.
church. The jig is up.
Right.
It's time for real pastors. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a real dude, and you're not going to catch me doing no stuff like that.
No.
The jig is up. I got flaws and everything. Don't get it twisted. But I'm not going to do no stuff like that.
Right.
Bendo, she like to get it in her butt. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out.
What?
What? Yeah.
What
no.
kind of pastor is this? And he was from over that way, like Africa.
He said over that way.
Over that way.
Over down yonder. Over there.
Don't bring that here. But they probably will. Like,
Yeah.
did you see the new form right there? He was pulling it out her mouth.
Lord. no.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Then all get out, yo. But we having a good time. I think that we're about to get some a phone call soon. We got some guests coming in. We need to talk a little bit about them. What's going on?
Yes, guys, make sure if you're watching this live, if you're listening to us on the download, definitely make sure you focus in and tune into the second half. These three doctors, you don't want to miss their story. You don't want to miss their mission. You just don't want to miss it. We have three doctors. They all have three different backgrounds, but they met up in college. I don't want to give too much of their story because I really want you guys to hear it from them. They met up in college, Xavier University. They made up in Xavier University, made a pact, made a brotherhood, and now all three of them are doctors, and they are on a mission to redefining what's the word I'm looking for? My brain just went blank.
You crazy.
See, this is what happens on live.
Their names. The Pulse.
The post.
Of perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah,
And that's a lot.
perseverance.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
In itself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
'Cause
These
everyone
guys
has a
have been
post.
on a lot of TV networks,
Yeah.
a lot of TV shows. Like we just watched them on the Steve Harvey show.
Steve
I was
Harvey
like,
show.
my God, they basically doing their thing.
TV1.
TV1, they're everywhere.
Sister Circle.
And so we want to talk
Yeah.
to them about their nonprofit and how they we don't want to
Yeah, I
say
don't wanna say too much,
so
but-
we're gonna go to a commercial break and then we're gonna come back. Right
Don't
after
tune
this.
in. Don't leave. Don't
Tune in. We're
leave.
gonna
Come
go,
back.
Go live from our page, The Voice of Reason. So make sure y'all tune in, all right?
Yes.
You know, like, sometimes I sit back and I think about you sometimes, you know. And I say, God must have touched my soul when he sent you to me. I love you so much, baby, no matter what nobody say. You know what I mean? soul spin around. Running through the door, screaming where daddy at. As you jump in my arms, I missed a lot of birthdays and Christmases, but you still love me just the same. Daddy on his grind, he never got time. Please forgive me, but I gotta stay focused. You're the reason I do it. Before the day you got here, I was giving it up. Your soul touched me, you're so musical like me. You hear a beat and bounce to it. You be singing a verse, I look back and laugh.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good. This is Maxon. Hey, how we doing? Good. He should be calling in any second. He's trying to call into the station. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, we can try to do that. Pierre might not be able to make it, but we can try to do that. Yeah, but he said he's in Mexico right now. He said he's still trying to call. Can't still trying to make it happen. Yeah. All right, so we'll try a three-way. I'll let them know. All right. Hello? Oh, okay. All right, how you doing? Yeah, this is the conference call. I think Max is supposed to be calling in. Okay. Well, I have Max call in and call on three-way. All right.
But your daughter hungry.
Good.
Doing good. Is Pierre still online?
Yeah, and Pierre is on too.
Yeah. How y'all doing? No problem. Okay.
This is Avril Lavigne. This is Gwen from No Doubt.
Hi, this
Okay.
is Usher, and you're listening to
GSNJ Radio.
This your boy Paveldi MC, man. I'm here.
Right. It's your boy Mike J.
And Lily Dane, we are back.
We are back. They told me to bring Prevail back, so I had to bring him back.
So you bring him back for the second half
for
of
the
the show,
second
though?
half of the show, so we can really let it out.
Lord.
First, I want to say thank you to the fellas for tuning in with us today. You know what I mean? We really appreciate y'all. And we just want to clarify that this is the reason why we are the voice of reason for a reason. This
Yes.
is that platform for reconciliation, and that's what we do. Tonight, we got 3 brothers with us, man.
Yes.
And I'm glad that they're here to help us out. So we want to get into this tonight. We thank y'all for tuning in with us. Who we have on the line again?
We have Percy, we have Max, and we have Joe.
Isn't it Pierre?
Yeah, that's Pierre.
Pierre.
Look,
Look at
Sorry.
in there.
Messing up the name.
Pierre, I apologize. That's my fault. I apologize. It won't happen again.
It's so funny. He just said your name to us behind when we was just here. So he
Yeah,
had him
but you know what, too? What's the blooper on you? Because remember how hard you came at me when I messed up somebody's name? Blooper on you. But thank you guys for Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being our guest. So, just to jump in, we don't want to take up too much of your time, but just to jump in, if you guys could just each just let us know a little bit about you. I've seen a few of your interviews, and I'm just glad that you guys are on the show. I'm super excited just from seeing what I've been able to see in all my research that I've done. So if each of you guys can just give us a quick synopsis, really quick, about you and your childhood as to what motivated what you guys do.
This is Pierre Johnson. I am born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I grew up through everything what you see Chicago is on TV, through drugs, gang violence, all of the above. I am a board certified OBGYN or obstetrician gynecologist, specialized in minimally invasive surgery. And I'm just here with my brothers, and we're trying to change the narrative.
My name is Dr. Max Madera. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and raised in Washington, D.C. Similar to what my brother said, different cities, but growing up in the 80s and early 90s, a lot of the ills that plagued our communities were present when I was growing up as well, trying to keep my head above water, trying to function in the streets, but knowing that I wanted something more for my life. Met my brothers at the University of Louisiana. At that point, we formed a bond with each other that was so strong it was completely unbreakable, and we used that bond to push each other to obtain the highest forms of excellence. And to this day, I am a board-certified cardiac anesthesiologist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dr. Joe?
And how y'all doing? I'm Dr. Joseph Simeon. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I came from the similar structures. My mom was heavily in church, and she raised us to always put God first. However, my environment led me to other exposing me to other things that were not in the light or not in the eyes of definitely the beholder. But those struggles led me to experience a lot of things in my life and see the down and the pitfalls of the street life. From there, I knew that things needed to change. I went to Xavier University and met my brothers. And just like Max stated, we formed this bond. And even through our struggles, we helped each other along the way so that we may persevere into everything that we're doing as of today. And it's been a great thing. Today, I am a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist practicing and specializing in minimally invasive surgery.
Yes, that's dope. So
That
look, again, I'm just excited every time when I just hear you guys speak. I just get so excited. Can you just give us a little bit about what your mission is and what inspired this?
Our mission collectively, what inspired it, let's start there first, is that, we worked for, half of our lives and more, really all of our lives to reach these highest pinnacles of success. Like we just said, we all came from very humble beginnings and had to go through, things that, people that get to the highest level, typically don't have to go through. But once we, formulated this bond together and got through all of these things and we achieved all of our goals, it's almost like getting to the finish line and looking around and just being completely unfulfilled and completely angry, actually, because once we got there, we walked and realized that, we're not the standard, we're the exceptions, and it's a problem, and that's perpetuated by turning on the television and seeing black men get brutalized in the streets, getting shot for nothing, and in addition to that, being looked at as only, either athletes or entertainers as being the only forms of success. So we did not want to, as a group or individually, look at that and be comfortable with that. We couldn't be comfortable with that because we know that, for everybody that looks at us and thinks that we're one thing, they look at everybody like that. And that's why the stereotypes are perpetuated. And that's why, a lot of the things that you see in the media and a lot of things that are happening to our people are happening. So we wanted to come together, not only to just change that narrative, but also shift the culture of, what other people think about us, but more importantly about what we think about ourselves and what our children think that they can be and what they can achieve.
Then in addition to piggyback off what my brother said, right now, there are a couple of things that we know in society that's under attack. Education as a whole is under attack, and the demographic who it's affecting the worst on both sides of the fence are people of color. For years, decades, or even centuries, black people, we've consistently been marginalized, and we've consistently been at disadvantages. Well, now you have situations where we have kids who are taking in the information that, they want to go to school, they want to try to do better for themselves, they want to supersede whatever the expectations of their environment are, but when they get into these educational spaces, they don't really have any support systems. And then even as they progress, they really don't see themselves in these spaces. So what you have is people who are either quitting along the way before they reach their level of fulfillment, or once they get there, they're so mired in debt and personal vices of the system, they look back and they think, oh, well, was it all worth it?
Yeah.
So we're just here as representatives of people who come from some of these disadvantaged backgrounds to say, to show our children, not only can you do it, but we want to show our children the steps or the blueprint of how we did it from our personal perspective, but also step up in our communities and show that, be a resource in some way, or be an outlet for our kids where we can actually distribute resources. So like every month, we give a monthly scholarship, just showing the kids and showing the world in general, like, look, we're only 3 individuals. I mean, we're physicians, but we don't make that much money. But this is where we pool our resources to supersede something that's greater than ourselves.
That's good.
Definitely, and I think it's important. Sorry, Mike, and I think one of the greatest things in the that you guys stress and you get across is that, like you said, you guys are you are your average. You know what I mean. You're your average. You didn't come from privilege and things like that. Like, your book is transparent, and you focus on letting our youth know and letting everyone know out there that you have seen every obstacle, that you've met every hardship, and that you guys still made it out. So that is definitely a great thing. I'm sorry, Mike, I cut you off. What you were gonna say?
No, you're fine. How do you figure out, how do you pick the person that you give the scholarship to? How do you decipher that out every month?
Well, every this is Joe talking. Every month We run, like Max said, we do a scholarship program. And what happens is the kids, they have to do is just read the book, and they come up with a 250-word essay just describing what they do to actually pull out the pulse of perseverance, and which means what are they doing in their community to better their situation and the situation of others.
Yeah, that's
And we give this to high school students along with college students.
okay. But the good thing about that is you're also having them just reach a little bit deeper and bring a little bit out of themselves as well, and also show them that yes, everything is hard work. You still got to put the work in. So that's definitely a great thing that there are requirements for the scholarship.
Absolutely, and then more importantly,
I just want to throw something out.
the more important thing that we want to do is it's good to give the resources to give it back, but our mission is, again, to change the narrative. So we have them also send a video in, and that video is very important because, that winner, we show that on all our social media platforms, our website, because what we want to do is start to change the narrative and highlight young Black excellence. So that, we're not only just seeing, kids shoot each other and everything else that the media is portraying, but it's actually young Black kids out here doing great things, and there's a sea of promise and hope, with these kids, and that's what we have to start highlighting instead of all of the negative stuff.
Yes, because I'm sorry.
Go ahead. And it's highlighting them, but it's also putting them at the forefront. It's almost like, when they say, oh, you want to be the change that you want to see. Well, the only way you can be the change you want to see is you have to invest and pour your efforts into these kids. Because like we said, we've been through it. We've been through that grind of trying to stay on the right path and do the right thing. But who's actually rewarding these kids for doing it, right? When there's a football game in your city and there's high school rivals, everybody in town shows up. Everybody brings, even the grandparents show up, the cousins, and the whole hood shows up. They highlight it on the radio, and everybody talks about that. But who's in there really highlighting the kid who's in the library, who wants to make his community better and wants more for himself? Who's highlighting that kid? And that's the beast that we're trying to fight.
That's good. That's good.
And I think one of the things that got me, when I looked at you guys, when I looked at your website, the first page I saw was how much y'all looked pretty much like the average hustler that's on the block. That first picture of y'all, when it was three of y'all standing behind that house and y'all was dressed down. I looked at y'all and I was like, wow. And these are y'all are like highly educated, y'all on the next level, but y'all still stand at that same level to make them realize that, they can still make it like you guys have made it. So I just love looking at you guys. I watched a lot of your videos, man. I'm very impressed on what you're doing with the young Black men. You don't see too much of this, and your success is needed for this.
Definitely, and to see the brotherhood that you guys have. So how crucial would you say? You said you guys met in college. How crucial would you say meeting each other and the brotherhood that you guys have created? How crucial was that for your success and for what you guys do?
Even before we get to that point, we want to say thank you just for recognizing that, brother. But we also want to say that's not a facade either. And I know you recognize that, but some people we've heard like, okay, well, yeah, they just dressing up in jeans or whatever, trying to look hood. It's like, man, this is who we are.
Yeah.
And we're unapologetic about who we are. Like, I walk through the hospitals and Jordan tattoos and earrings. Like, it's not because I'm trying to be somebody I'm not. I'm trying to be who I am, and who I am is not accepted by the masses. Because the masses still look at me as something that I'm not. But we can't conform and expect them to change. We have to make the change in their mindsets by being true to who we are. But, going to your point, I'm sorry, I didn't need to go back. I just wanted to make
that was great.
We needed to hear that. Yes.
I was looking at you guys, and I was like, wow, your look is real. I can tell it. I can just tell, and I love it. I love it.
Yes.
But just to interject what he said, too, because the other thing is that it's also it's also that we want people to know. It's like historically we know this. Historically, it doesn't matter how well dressed in a suit you are, which we love to dress up too, but that doesn't matter, right? You know, Martin Luther King and everybody from the civil rights movement, they dressed up on their Sunday's best when they went out and marched and they still got brutalized. You know, so we do that to say that we just because we made it, we know exactly the demographic we come from, and we still experience things where as soon as the white coats come off, like we get looked upon just like everybody else. Yeah. And so it's for that purpose to let the world know, like nothing changes. It's about how well you can articulate your thoughts.
Right.
And the other thing is about actually eliminating those preconceived notions that people have about our youth. If our youth have the tattoos, if they have the earrings, if they have the dreads, then they sort of just count them out. When we're saying no, don't count them out. Continue to uplift them and draw out the best out of them, so that they may achieve higher goals also. You know, and then to piggyback or to state the question you asked, I don't think any of this would be possible if we wouldn't have formed that bond. It was at a pertinent time. It was needed. It was destined, and the bond that we found within each other could never be broken. So it was because of that bond that we were able to reach this level of success that we have.
And the biggest thing too is that's what we're trying to tell these kids out here. Like, you know, no man is the island, and nobody makes this on their own. You know, we went through some hard struggles, but you know, if you read the book, you know, it was people and God who placed His hands down upon us, and our bond with each other to help pull us through. So what we tell kids is like, we know that there may not be a lot. You know, however, there are other kids that are just like you that want higher and want better for themselves, and you have to formulate bonds. You have to, you know, it's the strength in numbers and fortify your inner circle. You know, so that when you get to these hard times, when you get to these rough patches, you got a bunch of no men around you instead of yes men, and telling you that no, you don't need to be doing that, and yes, you can do this, and being in your behind you and holding you down.
These guys are amazing.
They are.
Do y'all do a lot of like community events in neighborhoods? Like, you know, when I say community events, like, you know, barbecue wise, and have the kids out there, basketball and all that. Like, do y'all do that in your network?
Man, to be quite honest with you, we do as much as we can with the time that we have. You know, we know that everybody we all have an expiration date in this life, but we are full-time physicians. And we are full-time dads. All three of us are heavily involved in our children's lives, and we all live in different cities. So there are some challenges there, but with the limited amount of time that we have, we go across in our cities and our local communities being active. And as many times as we try to get together, we'll travel. If there's a demand in any city, we, you know, as long as somebody reaches out and they're very forthcoming about what they can do, we are there in any city. So we do as much as we can with the time that we have.
That's good.
Yeah, that is.
And the bigger thing too is like we appreciate outlets like yourselves that see the importance of it. And the biggest problem that we've seen is like, you know, people will hit us up and say like, well, why aren't you guys on this, or why aren't you on that, or why aren't we seeing more of this? Mm-hmm. And you know, the response is just like positivity is not popular. Right. What we're trying to do, like, people want to see they quote unquote want to see these things, but they don't necessarily want to put it on their show, or they don't want to highlight it. And it's like, just as much as we try to put, you know, LeBron and Beyonce and put this in front of these kids, and not to bash them and say that that's a bad thing, because we are envious and we love them. But you gotta, you know, we gotta fight tooth and nail to try to get on these platforms to try to show kids what excellence is outside of sports and entertainment. So the more people that do what you're doing, the better this is going to be, and the more that we can, you know, make this a bigger movement.
Definitely.
And that's just the thing, is that Pulse of Perseverance is not even though it is some form of organization, but really it's a movement. Yeah. It's about changing everyone as a whole, So people, just like yourselves, need to get on board with that. And it's not about us three. It's way bigger than us three. I mean, we have reached a level of success. We're talking about the youth.
Yes.
Yeah, because our youth, they definitely don't have enough out there, and they don't have enough. They don't have that exposure. They don't have that platform. You see things here and there. You see, a little trend here and there of people trying to highlight the youth, but there's always a motive behind why they're doing it, and it's only for a short period of time. And you see some of these, quote unquote organizations for about a month or two, and then you're like, well, what happened to them? And then, our youth are back down, back where they were without that voice and without that platform. Our host here, he actually has a nonprofit. Tell them about that.
It's called Father to a Fatherless Generation. And that's my nonprofit. And basically what I do is like little barbecues here and there. And my nonprofit is to make the relationship personal. Like a lot of people say, is this an educational thing? And I say, no, it's a personal relationship between a father and a son. That connection that you need, to just, you could come to me and speak to me about anything. My presence is there, basketball, football, volleyball, whatever they want to do, I'm with it. Chess games, this, that, and the third. And we just go out there, and me as being a youth pastor, I was judged a lot for the dreads in my head and, the Timbs that I had on that was airbrushed and things like that. But I understood that I had to go into the trenches and get these kids and put some kind of value to them. So then I formed this Father to Fatherless Generation. So that's why I was asking, what other things did y'all do? Because I was just trying to get some advice on how I could move forward with this movement.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, man, we to be quite honest with you, we all need each other, right? So it's one of those things where, I go back to highlight, what somebody just mentioned, somebody mentioned something to the point of, somebody will come out and then people see about it and then it goes away. Well, we don't think that's happenstance. We think that's actually by design. We think that there are larger forces at play that don't want to see, people from our community actually get together, work together to shift the culture, like we say. There's a larger play at hand that wants to keep the masses, particularly our kids, basically almost like zombies. They want to keep them sedated with whatever's going on in the pop culture, because that will keep them away from the power, that will keep them away from tapping into the power that they truly possess. So it takes brothers like yourself, it takes brothers like us to not to be in competition with each other, but to actually pull our resources together and continue to work together to do whatever job that needs to get done. Because we all know there's a huge task at hand, and it doesn't necessarily mean you even have to have where you need to be fatherless, right? Because shoot, Trayvon Martin had a father. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Brown had a dad, and things still happen in these streets. Whether you have a father or whether you don't. There's a bigger beast at play to where we need to all come together to really try to change this narrative out here.
And to even go a little bit deeper in what you were trying to find out, is like a lot of the stuff that we do, you'll never hear about it. Like you'll never see it. Like nobody is there. Like every time we go to a school or we go to an event and we talk to kids, we give them all of our DMs for Facebook, Instagram. We give them all of our emails. And it's not a machine behind it. There's 3 doctors that in between surgeries and in between putting people to sleep are looking at emails, texting or hitting a little kid back, telling them what they need to do as far as how to be successful and all that stuff. We answer all of that stuff. We go through all of that on our own, without each other. Like we're in our prospective cities. Like somebody comes out and asks us to come talk to some kids here and there, what have you. No fancy or anything. We just go and we try to do it. And we can't get there. Well, we've now set up a Zoom account so we can talk to kids on a conference call or whatever. So that's the stuff that you never will see, or we don't even really care about the credit for. We just really truly are into the kids, man, just trying to pull more up, man, just reaching back and trying to lift as many as we possibly can, man, so they can do the exact same.
And that is definitely the best thing, is how like our host has said, you know, he's making it personal, and the fact that you guys are truly genuine, like taking this time and being that personal with the youth to have them understand, you know, and I think it's so important, like you were saying, the support. We try to stress that all the time here. We have to support each other. You have to have that group that's with you, that's going to uplift you when you need, because we all have our down days. We all have our struggles. We all, you know, we all go through that pressure. So guys, when you're listening, if you're listening to this show, please understand how important it is for us to come together and to have this support. I'm just so excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just have one more quick question. If you guys could just really quickly just let everyone know, I'm not sure how much you can talk about it, but you guys have a curriculum app. If you could just really quickly just let us know about that.
Well, it's still in the infancy stages right now. We're still, you know, planning and preparing because, like I said, it's not, we don't have a machine mind. There's really three guys that are just trying to make this happen and just reaching out to folks to try to help us and paying a lot of money to try to get it done. So the point of the app is a couple of different things. Number one is to be a tool to teach kids critical thinking skills. You know, it'll have interactive videos as well as an opportunity to interact with us as well as other mentors so that they can teach, you know, things that need to be known from a grammar school, college, high school perspective, because there are different tools along the way for each level of kid. The other part of it is more of a mentoring aspect because it's only three of us, but there are also many, many brothers and sisters that are all throughout this country, you know, that are trying to reach kids and may not have a platform or avenue to do that. So we're trying to create that space so that all of those people can come to a place and then we can be that conduit between mentors all throughout the countries and these kids that so desperately need the help. And then, you know, the final component of it is, again, to highlight Black excellence, to show what's being done in our communities and showing that these kids are doing great things, to so highlight them, show videos of them, show you know, things that they're doing, highlight their accomplishments and all of those things. So that's what the app, that's what our vision for it is, you know, in the direction that we're trying to get to. And right now we're just kind of, you know, knocking out all of the fine, you know, kinks and all of those things to try to get it done.
Sure.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Pulse of P3. That's PULSEOF, and the number 3. On Facebook, it's at the official Pulse of P3. That's the official Pulse of P3, one word. And those are the main two avenues in which we contact.
I mean, and if people want to email us to try to, you know, link up to, you know, to even try to help the movement or do anything else, you can email us directly at pulseof3@gmail. The same thing, PULSEOF, the number 3@gmail.com.
And lastly, our website is www.thepulseof3.com. That's THE pulseof3.com. And on the website, you can also, if you really believe in the value of our work and our mission and our cause, there is a link on the homepage to donate to our cause. And we, through our donation for our nonprofit, basically 100% of the proceeds for anybody that donates to our cause goes straight to the monthly scholarship winners. So we have people that basically we wish we could take all the credit, but we would never do that. We also have silent heroes in the background who donate to our monthly cause, and every month, you know, it's tangible to see where their money is actually going. So when they see that kid who wins for that particular month, they share with us in the sense of pride and joy that we all contain for these kids.
All
And for anybody that is like, and anybody that's purchased a book, just realize it's not 3 doctors just getting more money and getting rich off of that. We don't put that money in our pockets for ourselves or our kids. We take that money and we give it back to these scholarships and stuff too. So just know that if you bought the book, that you also putting it into the next generation and for scholarships too.
That's great.
That sounds great. So what we do usually here, sometimes we give away things a lot, but I think that this week the Voice of Reason is going to donate to your cause.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Expect something to come from us, from the Voice of Reason.
We
just
appreciate
talk
that.
about what we have amongst us 3.
We appreciate
and we're going
that.
to donate something to you guys on behalf of Voice of Reason, GSNJ Radio. So y'all should have something by Thursday from the Voice of Reason. Okay, fellas?
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Definitely
you.
We appreciate your time too. We'll get in touch with you guys at a later date.
And Dr. Pierre, enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It never stops. The work is important. I'm off in the bathroom in this hotel talking to y'all on the phone.
Thank you,
All right, y'all
guys.
take care. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We done. It's a wrap.
Guys, that was a great show. Are we still live? So everybody, make sure you re-listen to this. Re-listen. We gotta support.
This message is
Are we ended? Okay. We ain't even.